Greetings and radiant risings to you all who are joining in, who are seeing this live or who will see the replay. I pray that you are well. I pray that you are blessed. I pray that you are abundant. And I come today with a message that came through in my prayers this rising. Greetings. If you are joining me, please do let me know where you're joining in from and just say hello. I hope that you are well. So in my meditations this rising, I was guided to come on and share a message, and this message is going to be a serious message, people. So there's been a lot of posts, especially if you're in the UK, a lot of posts about this digital ID that is coming in place. And I want to talk about it because for quite some time, many of us, greetings from the NYC, and this affects us all, right? Because at the end of the day, there is a global takeover that's taking place, but it's also encouraging us to stand up in our sovereignty. So, as I said, there's been an announcement by the Prime Minister of the UK that they want to implement digital IDs. Now, as I said, many of us have known that this was coming for some time. I've been talking about this since 2012 and also came online and started talking about this stuff from 2017. So there's always been this agenda. Number one, to get people on a one world system so that they can be easily tracked, so that your money can be tracked, and so that your liberties can be taken away from you. When we started speaking about this, people were talking about it being conspiracy theory, but a theory does not mean that it's not true, right? A theory is something that needs to be given time to practice, given time to test to see if it is true. And we are seeing that most of those theories that we came up with actually are true. And the thing about how this reality works is the truth has to be shared, right? It's hidden in plain sight, and it's only for those who are willing to see who will be able to see, right? So COVID was one of the first major psyops, psychological operation. They wanted to, number one, get as many people in the communities in the world to take their nanotechnology, which is why we're seeing so many deaths and so many transitions happening at this time. They wanted people to take that nanotechnology, but they were also testing to see how much liberties they can take from people. How much have we been controlled, where we would give over our free will to the government, to the systems, that we would give over even our divinity, right? Because for those of us who have faith, a lot of us were able to tap into that faith and know that there is something greater than the controls that they're trying to place on us. We recognize that we are sovereign beings with choice. A lot of us started to research like the sovereign law, the common law, the Keskavi, to really understand how they started to take these rights away from us in the first place. Because you can't fight for something that you don't know that you have, right? So we were dedicated on looking at and unpacking what was taking place so that we can stand up and say no. At the time when COVID happened, there was a split in consciousness. Some people were like, no, I'm going to take the vaccine, I want to protect my family, and were kind of attacking those who didn't. And those who didn't take it had to take a stand. They had to be willing to say no, regardless of how I'm being bullied, regardless of how I'm being told I could harm my family. I'm going to stand up for truth, and I'm going to believe in something greater than myself. And now we are how many years down the line, and we realize that that was a psychological operation, that most people were tricked out of their divinity and out of their choice, and we are where we are right now. So that was the first kind of big major step towards this new world government. And this is not, again, about conspiracy theories. This is about truth, right? This is about what is happening in the global scale. So this introduction of this digital currency, this was already part of the agenda. You notice that when COVID was happening, we were all locked down. That was one, especially in the UK, that was one of the biggest transference of data onto the internet, because people had to use the NHS online. People had to go to uni online. People had to now get their benefits online. They shut down all of the councils, so there are no homeless places that you can go. Normally, when you want to engage with the council to get services, you can go to the council, the civic centre. They closed all of those things. They closed the youth centres. Most of the doctors started to become private. Why? Because their morality was tested when they were told that they couldn't, that they had to give misleading information, and that they had to trick people or tell people things that they didn't themselves know, right? So that meant a lot of the doctors then decided, you know what, I'm going to be private, which then also destroyed the NHS system, because the NHS system is of no value right now. People have to wait however long just to speak to a doctor, and most of us are actually taking the risk and paying, not even the risk, taking the leap and paying for private treatment, whether it's for your teeth, whether it's for your health, so that you can get access to the support that you need. The system has been broken for a reason. They deliberately broke it, and it is an agenda that they have, a systemic agenda, and they are now starting to roll out other parts of this agenda. We told you that there was going to be an incited civil war, and they tried to incite it. They tried to incite this fight between black and white and Muslims and all of these people, when really the fight is not against each other. The fight is against the system, and this is what's going to take us into this next level. We have to recognize that all of our liberties, to a certain extent, are being compromised, and that we have to take a stand. So I've seen a lot of posts with people talking about the digital ID and saying, okay, well, how do we get around this? What do? We don't comply, right? You have to stand for something, or you will fall for everything. If COVID did not teach you that it is time to stand up for your rights, if COVID did not teach you that you shouldn't be gullible and think that everything that the government says you have to take as fact, if it did not teach you to be proactive, then I don't know what's going to help you, because this is what this time is about. This time is about elevation. This time is about liberation. This time is about freedom. And I don't know why some people seem to think that that's going to come from sitting behind a computer and arguing about something. It's going to come from you taking a stand, from us all taking a stand and saying, no, we do not comply. Understand the law. A mandate is not a law, and most laws are not laws. They're actually mandates, meaning that you have to align with them, you have to agree with them. Recognize that you have a voice. Recognize that you have power. Recognize that the main laws that we have to really hold ourselves accountable to are the laws of nature, the laws of Ma'at, the laws of the 10 Commandments, how we live amongst each other, right? They are going to use different weapons to trick you out of your choice and divinity. Whether it will mean that they cut off your finances if you're on the benefit system, whether it will mean that they give you sanctions, whether they start to turn people against each other like they have with immigrants and so-called indigenous people, whereas we've all migrated across this planet for generations, right? Do not let them fool you into thinking that you do not have power, and do not let them fool you into thinking that we as a collective do not have a voice and that we do not have the power to change things. Even money is based on our energy. The monetary system was developed on the backs of slavery. All of the terminology that goes with the banking system is connected to the water, maritime law. So all of that took place at that time was to enslave you. Think about it. At the time of the Keskevi, which was 1666, when they had the fire of London, that's when they deemed everybody legally dead so that they could build this false corrupt system, build this monetary system on your back. We go to work, well, not me, but you go to work every day, you pay bills, you pay taxes, whereas they're making money off of every single breath that you take, because your birth certificate is being traded on the stock market. Now, a lot of people, when it came to doing this whole sovereignty thing and common law thing and freeing yourself, were thinking about the money that they were going to get. And so it became no longer about sharing information so that everyone can be free. It now became a thing where if you've got the money, you can pay. Or even some people were even going as far as trying to use the information as a way to get sexual favors from people. We need to stop this shit, because at the end of the day, if one is free, all are not free. When one is free, we all must be free. And it's that knowledge and that power that is going to free us. We are going to be called in these coming days to stand for something. We are going to be called in these coming days to be there for each other and say no. So this is the test. Are you willing to see beyond yourself? Are you willing to say no to the system? Are you willing to say, I will not comply? Because if enough of us do not comply, it cannot happen. There is a thing called consensus reality. When 51% of the consensus or the group believe one thing, it becomes reality. It becomes truth. This is how we're going to access the tipping point, by each of us acknowledging the truth and saying, no, we will not comply. No, we are willing to die for our freedom, for our collective freedom. Now, You can take this how you want, but I hope that it inspires you. I hope that it ignites you. I hope that you start to tap into something greater than yourself and realize that you have more power than you think you have, and realize that we have more power than we think we have. They have been studying us over the past 10 years, studying the way that we respond to things on the internet, studying the way that we respond to posts and information that they put out, seeing whether we'd be discerning, seeing whether we would react. Learn. Be aware, be awake, and do not give over your divinity. This is not a one-person thing. This is not the time of the Messiah. It's the time of the many. And there's many of us that choose to wake up. There's many of us that choose to tap in and say, you know what, no, and protect and defend each other. Protect and defend our truth. Protect and defend our liberty. That is how we are going to see the change. And we came here for this. Many of us, especially those of you who were born in the 70s and 80s, you came with the energy of Pluto that is here to bring change. We are here to break down these old systems. And we break down these old systems by saying, no, we do not comply. Okay? So my spirit said to me, get on and share this, because don't get trapped in the internet source. Don't get trapped in thinking that because it's happening on your screen, it's not real. Don't get trapped into thinking that, okay, that everything outside of you has control over you. It doesn't. Everything is vying for your attention and your consciousness. This war is on your consciousness. It's a war for our consciousness. It's a war for our energy. And we have to utilize that energy for the right thing. Do ye not know you are gods? Do ye not know that you will go on to do greater things than I? Yeah? And this is not, anyway, it is what it is. It's an affirmation and a word. There is so much that is being utilized against you, even with this whole rapture energy of whatever was going on. It's all to kind of kick up all of this dust so that you don't believe in everything. But everything is symbolic and everything is energetic. We are seeing more and more people rising up, both spiritually, both in terms of in death, but also us rising up. It is the time. It's not the time to just sit and think about our ancestors. It's time to tap into the same resilient strength and power that they had. It's not for us to just sit down and do rituals for our own benefit. It's for us to summon the forces of nature to work on our behalf, for our collective revelation and our collective liberation. This is the word that the Most High has given me to share today. There's going to be a time very soon where we're going to be called to choose whether we stand up for each other or whether we allow the illusion of power outside of ourselves to rob us of our freedom and our divinity. And I, for one, no, I didn't come here to suffer, nor did I come here to remain in this elitist society. Remember that we are the key. We are the we are the answer that we're looking for. But it's going to require us to stand for something and die for something if necessary. Because freedom for one is freedom for all. And this is the truth of what's happening right now. So I've just been guided by the Most High to share this message and to stir within you just that spark of power, a confidence, of conviction, to know that you are not a pawn in the game. You are the king or the queen. And when you recognize that, you play your position accurately and you win on the board. We as a collective, it's time. It's time. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your views. Let me know if you're ready in the comments below. And I'm sending you so much love of the highest vibration. We are in the midst of change all over the world. And this change is not one that we need to be afraid of. It's one that we need to be involved in. So how can you make those changes within your life? How can you create more freedom? How can you support those around you? And what are you willing to stand for? My name is Amenti, the Awakener, Amenti, the Oracle, and I'm sending you so much love of the highest vibration and just praying over humanity's strength, power and peace. May everything that is coming our way be for our highest good, and may we rise victorious in this battle and in this journey. Much, much love, and have a blessed day. Aching.